Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning to LALATE. It's a Thursday edition at 6 a.m. in the morning on the East Coast, 3 o'clock on the West Coast. And boy, last night, trending overnight was hashtag Senate Vote No. The hashtag campaign started by this channel on the Purple Power and me, no less than the middle of yesterday, as we heard bad deal provisions coming across the board for proposals for your second stimulus check and second stimulus package. And we just had enough, and I had enough. So I said, you know what, go on social media and start this campaign, and let's see if we can trend. Let's see if we can trend with hashtag Senate Vote No. Oh, we did trend. We trended number one. Hashtag Senate Vote No was trending number one for hours last night. Went from 9,000 to 10,000 tweets in just 15 minutes. That's a lot. 1,000 tweets in 15 minutes. It shows the power of the Purple Power. It also shows the extent to which viewers are just sick and tired of not getting the right amount of relief from a bunch of people who simply don't want to give you relief. But the great news as you start the new morning is that there was no deal as of last night. No deal, no bill, no number, no agreement on anything. In fact, everyone confirms that. And I wonder who's to blame for that. You're looking right at him. Yeah. The best way to implode a potential deal is tell them the deal is crap. And that's what we did. We said your deal is no good. Is that a deal? Well, suddenly there was no deal right after we said that. But the push is not over. Today is the big day. Tomorrow is the big day. Because ultimately, every time we push, they try to push back, and we push again. In this recording, I'm going to explain to you where we are today. It's all great, exciting news. I'm so glad you joined me on this special early morning edition of Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. The toast is toast and the butter is buttered. I'm here, you're here. And Twitter was trending last night with a hashtag Senate Vote No, and hashtag House Vote No. And you need to do it again because today is going to be a big day. If you're not subscribed, please go to the front channel, subscribe. Because there's no community like this anywhere. There's nothing like it. This is a social community that's not Republican or not Democrat. It's purple. And it's focused on getting you the relief that you're owed. You were told that you were trying to get rich off the federal government by Mitch McConnell in the spring. Then you were told by Nancy Pelosi, instead of a $1,200 stimulus check, just sort of live with no stimulus check. You were told that, you're supposed to give a big stimulus check by the President of the United States every month since June, never saw it. And enough is enough. And you said enough was enough yesterday, after someone said that there was a deal for $600 stimulus check, and there wasn't. In this recording, I'll explain more about that as well, so please subscribe. Also, like this video. It really helps in the algorithm rankings. And hit the bell at the front of this channel, that alert button, so you get an alert when a new video goes live. And there is a new one going live in a few minutes at the 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time edition. Meantime, over there is a live instant premiere. It allows you to chat with your Purple Power buddies and get the hashtag campaign going. Get it going for this morning. You can chat with the same friend. Yesterday, I always say it's about 70,000 viewers that tune in early mornings to LA. Yesterday is about 100,000. So keep it going. It's a great community, and no one protects you better than I do. We're all here to ensure that you get through this pandemic as a family. So jump over that instant premiere if you're tuning in at 6 a.m. when the show debuts. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here this morning is that as of this morning, 6 o'clock on the East Coast in the morning, there is no deal. Zero. No bill, no deal, no nothing. All there is a lot of proposals. We've had proposals and then there are proposals and more proposals. Well, yesterday morning, in the early part of the morning, we thought we had a deal. We saw some reports, perhaps by the people who didn't want you to have anything else other than what they wanted you to offer you, saying that you had a deal. And we got really not happy. The reports were wrong. There was no deal. There was no $600 deal. Rather, there was a $600 check proposal. And from that, no deal was reached. Throughout the day, we were heard that the deal that the proposal went from 600 to 700. As the day went on, the proposal got larger. As more people came out and said, "What is this junk?" Junk. I called it crap. I had no problem tweeting elected officials saying, "Thank you for your crap bill. It's crap." If you want to admit that it's crap, then I feel more respectful of you, but don't manifest something that's so bad is good when it's crap. And it was. The day had started a little bit peculiar yesterday, with Bernie Sanders first tweeting a video of himself talking about how $600 was good. But then, me going after that tweet because it was insane. But later in the day, Bernie came out and said that is not a sufficient amount of money, $600. And then more people were heard. The same people who have been vocal since the beginning got more vocal. Spines stood up. After months of spineless elected officials, finally we had some spines. They were Bernie Sanders, Vermont Independent, Elizabeth Warren, Democrat, Massachusetts, Josh Hawley, Republican, Missouri. Do you see a trend? Yeah, every political side of the spectrum was arguing for a stimulus check. And who else was? The President of the United States. His press secretary said the president wants a $1,200 stimulus check and may go as high as $2,000. Steve Mnuchin made that clear through the negotiations. The president, independent, and Elizabeth Warren. And other Republicans. The entire universe of the political spectrum were arguing for a stimulus check. And who was arguing against it? Two people. Suddenly, the tides were turning. And broadcast news was turning them as well. As broadcast news said, for example, last night with Shepard Smith on CNBC said, they're working on a deal, but how about the stimulus check? Number one word third word in the first sentence of the report. And the report was the number 2 story on the nightly news. So you see how suddenly where is the stimulus check is part of the national agenda and national coverage. Bernie Sanders had said on Monday, we cannot go home unless there's strong unemployment benefits plus a $1,200 check for adults and $500 for children. And what was said yesterday? Well, Steny Hoyer, the Democrat out of Massachusetts, who has been often the propagandist for Nancy Pelosi, had a false narrative. He said, it takes so long because we're procrastinating because we pretend one more day we'll have a better deal. No, you don't have a deal, Benny. Steny, you're not pretending to have a better deal. You don't have another deal. He's a Democrat out of Maryland. Well, let me refer to Chuck Schumer. It's not a done deal yet. That was the same. Minutes later, Chuck Schumer cleaned Steny's mouth and said, there's no deal. It's not a done deal yet. But we are close. For Democrats, it's always been about getting the American the type of relief we need. We're Democrats. We would like to go further. Others actually tuned in and said there was no deal. There's just no deal. We're getting there, says Mitch McConnell, late yesterday. We're getting there, meaning there's no deal. And that's a Republican out of Kentucky. How about a Republican out of South Dakota? Senator Majority Whip John Thune said that it would likely include direct stimulus checks, but the amount had not been agreed upon. Okay, there we go. Then it continued. Elizabeth Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts. She said, no, I'm not doing this unless it's sufficient. Americans need more help, and that's where I'm going to keep pushing. They need more help, and this is not enough. $600. We're not there. No deal. My job is keep pushing for more. As finally someone who realizes what their job is. And sometimes you have to give them a job description memo. Nancy, do you know what your job is to do? My job is to just stand and talk and run for the weekend every Thursday afternoon and get on the jet every Thursday afternoon. Just get on the jet. Elizabeth Warren says my job is to keep pushing for more. God bless this woman. She finally someone who understands what their elected official job is supposed to be. And then Bernie Sanders said, it's a good start, meaning that there's no deal. Who says a deal at $600? And Josh Hawley said, it's good movement. Josh later explained why he said good movement, because we had gone from 0 to 600. We're not done yet. Then Thune says some of the folks who typically would mind these circumstances go slow, I think they're inclined not to do that this time. That was very good. And then came the reason why there might be movement. Well, first of all, because people were slamming the bill the memo as crap and not agreeing to it. And then there was this part. Uh, I'm reading from Politico. On a private Senate GOP telephone conference call, someone listening in, Wednesday afternoon, Mitch McConnell explicitly linked the need for stimulus checks to the special election in Georgia. Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue are getting hammered, McConnell said over the phone, according to a source that was on the call. Don't you love that? Someone that's sort of listening in. Hey, Politico, I was listening in on Mitch McConnell. He ordered some lobster. No, you didn't say that, but we just love that. Just Mitch ordered some lobster. He called up Nancy, told her, "Where's your darn ice cream? I want some of that ice cream. I'm dying for that $12 ice cream. Nancy, have any more left?" And then he said, "We need to send out stimulus checks. We're going to get hammered in Georgia." And that, ironically, is a big point. And so that's what started the hashtag Senate vote no from me midday, in which I said, you know what? Go on social media and tag Mitch and say, you know what? How badly you want those Senate seats, Mitch? How badly do you want those Senate seats? Well, if you want them really badly, then don't send out a $600 stimulus check, because then it'll be Senate vote no and Senate vote no Mitch McConnell as well. The message is very clear. You want to lose Senate seats, then send out a stimulus check that's totally inadequate. And that's where the push of the purple power changed the narrative. You changed the narrative with my hashtag Senate vote no when I said, you know what? You need to tell these people they're not doing a good job. They keep on patting themselves on the back. Do you never see a bunch of elected officials pat themselves on the back a little bit too much? The week started on Monday with the problem creators. They call themselves problem solvers. I call them problem creators, which is what they do. They cause a lot of problems. Appearing on Capitol steps and then booking themselves for TV interviews, which they're very good at doing. Talking about how they've done such a wonderful job in coming up with a relief bill. And then when you ask them where the stimulus check was, they're like, well, why is it not in there? Ask someone else. And then when that $600 number manifested, showed up out of nowhere yesterday in the early morning, viewers were asking me, who came up with the $600 number? I was like, can someone in the problem creators raise their hand that came up with the $600 number? I don't see you raising your hand. Who did it out there? No one was raising their hand. No one would take ownership for that crap move. It's funny, when they want to pat themselves on the back about how wonderful they're doing when they're not doing wonderful, and you call them out for doing something bad, they hide and go seek. No one wanted to take ownership for that crap $600 number. The number became more crappy as the day went on when we learned that the money for the stimulus check of $1,200 was there. It's not like it's no longer available. Now it's there. Let me explain why. Mitt Romney had gone and spoke with people early in the week. Can we get a $1,200 stimulus check in there? He spoke with both sides of the political spectrum. They didn't want to do it because they said they don't want to go higher on the bill. And the problem was the state and local was $300 billion in the bill. Well, guess what? State and local is no longer in the bill. They took that $300 billion item out. So there's $300 billion now available. So why are you spending $200 billion of it for an $800 or $700 stimulus check? Why not spend the remainder $100 billion? Who told you to? You took out $300 and you only put a few billion in for the half of a check. Why? Are you just being sadistic? There's no explanation for it except they're just sadistic. It's just, it's not mathematical errors. They know exactly what they're doing. This is not a Larry Kudlow. They know exactly what they're doing. They take out $300. They say there's no space for stimulus check because you need $300 billion. So they take out state and local for $300 billion. And then they put that in and it's like, oh, well, you know what? We'll water it down for you. No. Yesterday, the situation got more clear in the early morning broadcast of this channel when I asked viewers, well, would you take $600? Oh, no. It was like 99%, 90% is 10% no. But then I said, well, how about the FPUC part of it? Then that was a 100% no. Why is the FPUC so bad in this second stimulus bill? And what is it doing? Let me briefly tell you that, and let me let me tell you what's next up. The FPUC does not pay you retroactive. Yeah. There's no retroactive. So that $19,000 you're owed, yeah, gone. Bye. Viewers literally went through the roof. It was at that point that Seth Vote No was born. And so in the recording right after this at the 6:30 mark at the bottom of the hour, I will continue why Senate Vote No is so emphatically clear. Why the FPC is really one of the big muck-ups, one of the big messes, one of the big, what are you doing of this, on top of the stimulus check? And then I'll be turning back to the states. States that are giving you big money, not 5 months from now, not 5 weeks from now, money right now, whether it's a state, city, or county, or a private charity. Really exciting, great news. As with that, join me in a few minutes at 6:30. Stay informed, stay smiling, and stay at LA for more.